Yeah, you look out and you say, okay, who's scoring? They really don't have a post scorer here. Mosley can a little bit.
They have the JUCO transfer, Galen Alexander, on the court. A bucket there.
Man, that was Wahab just getting it at the free throw line. He got a little angle. Mistake by Duke. You just square your shoulders to Wahab and make him shoot through you, and he's not going to do it. But if he gets an angle, he can go to the rim.
They find Carey. Carey on Wahab. Kudus Wahab charged with the foul.
Let me show you what I'm talking about here. You just have to move your feet and square up when the ball. See, there's just a little bit of side that Carey gives Wahab. You just can't do that. He gets right over Carey's left foot, and if Carey were a little lower and moving, he would have squared up and kept him in front, and it would have been no bucket. You square up on bigs at the free throw line.
8th foul on Georgetown, and Carey misses the front end of the 1-and-1. How about Carey moving his feet, got his hand in there.
Now the question down here, who's going to score for Duke? If it's not going to be Carey, he's dying for the ball.
LeBlanc out on Hurt. Great position by Carey. Point blank look, he couldn't finish. But if he gets the ball that deep all the time, it's going to be trouble. Wahab blocked by Baker, but they get the foul on Joey Baker.
Young players. This is a great pass by Mosley. Mosley gets it into Wahab. Wahab doesn't catch it clean. It's a great pass. But watch what Wahab does. He fumbles it, right? It's kind of fumbled, but right there, he takes his time and he gathers and goes up. So many big guys in traffic want to hurry and get the ball up. You're big, you're strong, you're by the bucket, you dominate, and that's what Wahab did.
Had 9 points in the win over Texas. The season high 22 minutes. He had the dunk at 13:15 to go that put the Hoyas up for good, 54-52. I mean, they won by 16. It ended up being a blowout, but they were down by 5 at the break.
Just got locked in defensively. Texas had nothing for them.
7-0 Georgetown run. Stanley. And absorbs the contact from Alexander. First team foul, 9th foul on Georgetown. It's going to be double bonus time with the next foul. 9:55 to go. Cassius Stanley, the freshman from California. He got a chance to meet his namesake. Yeah, Muhammad Ali, the former Cassius Clay. A friend was doing a story on Muhammad Ali, and young Cassius got a chance to tag along and meet the champ. That photo is incredible.
Incredible. What a great photo to have. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Ali Frazier 1 was right here. One of the great fights of all time.
The block kick out. Mosley will try a 3. Carey pulls down the board. Here comes Trey Jones. Duke down by 7. Jones fires. That's short. Allen to Alexander, and he's fouled. Yeah, the foul will be on Cassius Stanley. That's his first. And Galen Alexander, JUCO transfer, started his career at LSU. He's a junior. You look at these two teams, though, they are young. I mean, the core of this Georgetown team, you got the sophomores with McClung, Akinjo, and LeBlanc. Pickett's a junior. And then Jones on the Duke side, a sophomore. And they got, even though it's not the same level as last year, they still have a good group of freshmen. I mean, the freshmen between Moore and Hurt and Stanley, the freshmen are going to have to make an impact for Duke again this year.
This is where they like to play Hurt, right here.
Inside, that would go. Hurt the rebound. inside again, had it knocked away, and it's
Right
Mosley. Alexander puts it in.
I tell you what, that second possession in a row, Alexander and Mosley flew down the court.
Timeout Duke. 10-1 is the run for Georgetown.
Really well schooled by Patrick Ewing, his team, to use verticality. Watch, straight up. Turnover, and this is so fast, and Alexander just dominates going to the backboard. Second possession in a row. Georgetown just out-athleted, if that's a word, Duke. That was fast, Boogie.
Now, so Georgetown leading it by 10. James Akinjo, who was the Big East Freshman of the Year last year and led the conference in assists. He's a guy that can make shots and facilitate.
Hey, let's be honest. You're James Akinjo, and you have that kind of credentials. You're going up against Trey Jones. Guess what you've heard? All you've heard is Trey Jones is the greatest defender. Trey Jones is candidate for Player of the Year. Trey Jones is first-team All-American. Cocky guards want to go at Trey Jones. And that's exactly, to start the game, what Akinjo and McClung have done, and it's spurred Georgetown.
This is back March 9th. And how about some love from Damian Lillard, point guard for Georgetown, toughest point guard in the country. That's what Damian Lillard tweeted. That dude's a pretty good player, by the way.
And he's not far off, because I'll tell you what, a lot of guys, the bright lights, Coach K on the sidelines get nervous. Akinjo and McClung, they came right out.
Cocky guards.
Cocky guards win big games, man.
What about cocky broadcasters?
They do great.
All right.
They get a lot of people on Twitter to hate them.
And it'll go the other way. And it'll be on Wahab. That's his second.
Yeah, Patrick Ewing is saying, because there was a lot of room that Wahab had given the ball handler, but he just moved enough. And you know what? When you're out in the middle of the court, easy call for a ref when you move.
Right. About 8.5 to go, and it'll go the other way. Do they get Stanley for pushing off? They did. And that's his second. So the freshman charged with the foul.
But we said it earlier. Other than Carey, who is going to score?
Yeah. Well, so far the answer is no one. They got a dozen points.
Right.
And we're almost 11.5 into this game.
Now, I will say it's going to be hurt on the elbow. I think we will see that, if not later in this half, we will see that in the second half, because he got a pretty good look, just wasn't strong enough to finish.
Akinjo here, weaving through traffic. Mosley inside, scoops it up, and it'll go offensive foul. How about Carey getting into position and able to draw the charge?
Boy, Georgetown had Duke scrambling. Let's see Carey, number one. Let's see what. You know, usually, you said earlier, they usually call that a block. When a guy hits a shoulder, they usually call that a block. I would call that one a block, because I think Carey slid into him.
Duke 6 turnovers and 4 made field goals. Moore takes it away and puts it in.
Strong. Reminds me of Chris Carrawell back in the day. Moore can do everything on a basketball court. Just needs a little time.
And Pickett gets bumped. Our under 8 timeout. We'll be back here in New York City. Used to be for the Hoyas. Blue Devils held on 86-84 back in 2015 for Coach K.
We talked earlier, we talked yesterday. How many trophies does that man have? How many rings does that man have? You read the bios of the assistant coaches, all the championships done at Duke. It is truly remarkable. 40 years, he's the best to ever do it.
He's got to have some good ones, too, from like the early going.
Right.
When he went to some random tournament somewhere, you know. The Dan Dockich inaugural whatever. Akinjo, left hand off the glass and good. James Akinjo.
Carey just a little bit underneath the bucket, allowed Akinjo to go to the left hand.
Duke so far shooting 23% from the floor.
Who's going to make threes?
James Akinjo, yeah, Big East Freshman of the Year, and looks like a pretty good sophomore.
Hey, kids with pride, man. You hear about Trey Jones, greatest defender, this, that. Some guys shy away, some guys step up. Akinjo stepped up from jump.
Feed inside, carrying the stuff.
Well, they asked Wahab to do two things there. He had to go out and defend Jones on the ball screen. Then he got turned around and never saw the basketball. And Carey was the recipient.
Carey had 31 yesterday. He's got 8 here tonight. They've got to keep him involved. Under 7 to go here, first half of our championship game.
I like Goldwire in this game because he can guard. He's athletic. I thought he played really well yesterday.
Akinjo inside, wouldn't go. Wahab the putback.
But it was back to Wahab because Akinjo stayed with it, and the ball got loose because of Akinjo's activity. What Damian Lillard say? Toughest point guard in the country?
Yep.
He ain't too wrong.
Carey.
Didn't need it.
Count it.
What? You know, big guys have a tough time, man. You've got to guard two things. Watch, Wahab's got to come out here. He stays with Jones. Now he's running back, but he has no idea where the basketball is. That's asking a lot of that young kid to guard both. And a heck of a pass by Jones.
Pickett puts it on the floor. And right there, Galen Alexander able to drill one from downtown. And how about the Hoyas up by 11 on the #1 team in the country?
Who was that pass to?
I'm not sure. Because I thought it might have been to Wahab.
His foot that way.
Out of bounds? No, it'll stay with Duke. All right, yeah, let's take a look at that last pass.
You make the call, Boog. Who is this to?
I think it was for Wahab.
I do too.
Goldwire handling as Jones is off the ball at the moment. Moore off 1 foot. Loose ball, Pickett pushing ahead. Here's Pickett. And what do you have? Offensive foul.
Now, if I'm Patrick Ewing, I wanted to foul back here at half court. That was a charge, but I wanted to foul at half court. I thought the foul occurred about right, let's see, right there when he tripped.
Absolutely, you got him on the leg.
Yeah, I thought that was the foul. Good play by Moore. Great play by Moore, but right here, that's going to be a foul.
You couldn't see it there, but from our end zone camera, you could see it. Here's Carey, rebound underneath, and puts it in.
When you drive, yeah, but when you drive, everybody's coming, right? They're over helping, so it's going to open the backboard. So Duke needs to do more of that from the top of the key. Drive, it's going to open the backboard.
And it'll go the other way. Take a look at that last drive when Duke had the basketball, as you mentioned.
Top of the key means there's no help. Here comes the help from the big, and nobody puts a body on Carey. And if you don't put a big body on Carey, you've got a serious problem.
Jordan Carey again off to a good start. Travel.
It was either a travel or the same offensive foul they just called, and Coach K's up, but that's the same exact play. They just called a foul on the other end.
Ryan Dorsey on the call. Akinjo and the Hoyas leading by 9, under 5 to go first half. Akinjo, 3. LeBlanc tips it, trying to save it, out of bounds. And it'll be Duke basketball. Anything surprise you so far in this game?
No, because we knew Akinjo and McClure and these guys were really athletic. The one thing that has surprised me this weekend, when I watched Georgetown play earlier in the year against Penn State and Georgia State, they were awful. I mean, awful. They got drugged by Penn State, and to watch them in person, they are athletic, they are tough, they are strong.
Baker steps inside the three-point line and knocks it down.
And that's what I'm talking about. Either Matthew Hurt, Baker, whomever playing at the free throw line is going to be the offense other than Carey that Duke's going to have.
That last foul on Trey Jones, that's number 7 on the team, so it's a 1-and-1 spot. Jones wanted an offensive foul called, that's what Coach K is saying. Take a look. Hard to tell there. Now, one of the things we saw from Akinjo went 10 for 10 from the line in the win yesterday as he had 14 points. Dan Dockich, one of the things Georgetown, if you look at their offense, they like to play fast. They also get to the line. They did it last year. In the win, they went 21 for 28. You'd have to figure if they're going to pull off this upset, they're going to need to get to the line a little more.
Yeah, and they like to drive it. They'll drive it. They'll drive it again on reversal. And that's why they get to the line. They get into the paint.
Moore flips it up and rolls it home.
I'm telling you, I think this kid is going to be an absolute superstar. He is willing. He is tough. He is strong. He can handle it. Whatever position you want him to play, Moore can play. I think he's terrific.
Out of bounds. It's Duke basketball. It's our under 4 timeout. Champ.
I am saying they've got to figure out either Matthew Hurt or Joey Baker at the elbow. They love Hurt, but he hasn't been in the game. Joey Baker just got a bucket, but that's the question of the day. The coach whisperer, Seth Greenberg.
And remember, you can check out the world's greatest podcast with Seth Greenberg. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's 3 on McClure.
Oh, wow. That was some hard contact with those two guys. McClung now has 3. And he is frustrated.
Boy, great play by McClung, and then 2 guys run into each other.
What do you do in that spot? In
my world, that's not a foul because I don't know who the foul is on. The ball's out of bounds, and
totally
I figure who gets it. But my world's a weird world, dude.
No, it's not. Why is it on him any more than it's on Jones in that spot?
I would argue people call it on the defense more than they call it on the offense, and I don't get it. I really don't. It's just 2 guys going after the ball, and that's a monster call.
And they ran into each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 fouls.
I just let the ball go out of bounds, and whoever we thought touched it, let's go that way.
All right, take another peek. See if anything changes your mind here.
I guess you can argue Jones had the ball and was run into. That would be the only argument that I could make, and he wouldn't accept that argument, McClung.
Yeah. I would go as I think he sort of had possession. Yeah. I don't know that he had possession of it. And because of that, then, yeah.
This might be a testament to how good Duke is. It feels like Georgetown is up 10 or 12.
Right.
They're up 5. That's how good Duke is without being a great offensive team.
Wahab can't get the second 5-point game. A little bit of pressure here. Those active hands. Pickett out of bounds. Duke basketball.
Man, 2 times they pressed. First time McClung got to the ball, wasn't able to pick it up, got a foul, and that time Pickett, who's the longest guy out here, had a chance to steal. The press worked. No result. I got to get this to Moore if I'm not going to carry on the block.
Baker got it. Joey Baker knocks it down.
Joey Baker with 5 quick ones.
And we got ourselves a 2-point game. It's the championship, the 2K Empire Classic. Under 3 to go first half. John Shambi, Dan Dockich, Madison Square Garden. Good crowd here tonight. Pickett puts it on the floor. Trying to find Wahab. Kickball.
Well, Baker went to the elbow and got a bucket. And I think that got him going a little bit. Now watch, all the help. Pretty good look. It's 2 against 1 on the left side. McClure goes after White, leaving Baker wide open, and he drilled it. They're dying for Baker, O'Connell, Hurt, White, somebody to be consistent. Duke is.
Akejo now, burst of speed, inside, good feed. LeBlanc too strong. Now LeBlanc had a pretty good look right there and just wasn't able to put it in.
LeBlanc shot an air ball late. That's nerves.
Duke has not led in this game. Here's Carey inside. Look out. He is a handful. Duke started 4 for 21. They're 8 of 10 since then, and on a 13-2 run, and here comes the crowd. Tied up 31 apiece.
This is what happens when you lose concentration. Watch the ball get swung around, and Carey's going to post up. All right, not bad position, but stop it right there. You see the position that 34 is in? You have to be here. Carey has to play through you. When you lunge in the passing lane against Carey, this is what happens. Mosley was like a fly on an elephant's backside. You cannot lunge. You cannot go for the ball unless you are 100%. You are going to get the ball, period.
Carey pulls down the board, and Duke, Blue Devils a chance to take their first lead.
Carey or Baker? It's Carey.
It's Carey off the glass and one. Vernon Carey Jr., 31 last night and dominating again here tonight. 16 first half points.
Horns high. You just run the 2 bigs up. That cleans out the backside. No help. Once again, Trey Jones, just simple basketball. Simple basketball. You're asking a big guarding Carey to guard 2 things. Right now, Georgetown can't get it figured out.
And it's Duke basketball.
Horns means 2 guys up, 2 bigs up, and all they do is pop White, roll Carey. It cleans out the opposite big because he's got to stay with White. Easy bucket. Same thing.
Offensive foul. Wave it off. Second on Carey.
Same action. This time the help is there, and Mosley makes a great play to come over outside. He reacts on the pass, gets there. Offensive foul. That's just reacting. You can't wait. When you see the ball move, you jump to the ball, you move with the ball, puts you in position.
Duke first lead of the night, up by 2. Pass intercepted. It was deflected. Jones ends up with it.
Baker wanted a 3.
And they're going to get Trey Jones with a push-off. That's the second on Trey Jones. Tomorrow on ABC, it's Saturday night college football. Number 6 Oregon. They'll head to Tempe to face Arizona State, looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. Coverage begins 7:30 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app. The Ducks 9-1. They lost their opening week game to Auburn, and they've won everything since.
One of the 2 or 3 best quarterbacks, Herbert, in the country. Boy, they sloppy all of a sudden. Great hands by Duke.
Goldwire probing. Kick out to White. Jones on the bench with those 2 fouls. Who'd they just get that on?
DeLaurier on the screen for Baker.
DeLaurier.
This is the most offensive fouls I've ever seen in a half of basketball.
So here we go. Georgetown down 2.
Patrick Ewing's calling a 1-4 low. You may see a ball screener depending. But if not, they want right there Kinjo to go one-on-one under 10. Now they're going to screen him late. See, I don't like the screen there. That just brings another defender.
Kinjo going to work. Oh, my goodness. What a move. Gold wire. Good if it goes.
John Farnham with me. Welcome into the E-Trade Halftime Report. Look, Duke started off a little bit slow, but they were able to come back. Vernon Carey backing up what we saw him do last night with another good performance tonight.
Yeah, Vernon Carey, 7 for 10 from the field. The rest of the team, 6 for 22. How did they get Vernon Carey the ball? They got him in horns action. 2 high screens. You come off Vernon Carey, he dives to the basket. If you come off the opposite coast, you play high-low. Right there, ball goes into the block. Vernon Carey can finish. Great hands, explosive around the basket. And then if you put him in a ball screen, when he rolls, he's going to hard roll to the rim, watch him present himself, catch, and finish. They need to play through Vernon Carey in the half court. On the other end, they got to be able to guard the basketball and keep it out of the lane.
You know, Farnham, Georgetown got out to an early lead. Duke stormed back. Give them credit, they got the bucket before the end to tie it. Georgetown at least holding their own early on.
What I loved about Georgetown and Patrick Ewing, he said, hey, we get the ball. We're not waiting. We are going. We're not going to allow Trey Jones to disrupt us. We are going to try to get them as they're flattening out the defense by driving the basketball. Here's a missed shot that gets tipped away, and then out in the open floor, you look at the numbers. They were flying up the floor, and again, they dealt with foul trouble in the first half, but James Akinjo, as we saw in that final possession, just the toughness, the mentality that he's bringing to this game starts to feed to his teammates. They got away from that. When Duke was able to set up their half-court defense, what did we see Georgetown do? Started getting loose with the basketball coach, having some of those turnover issues we've seen.
You know, Sean, we played against Duke when I was coaching at Tech. The most important thing against Duke is to spread the floor and drive old school Duke defense. Spacing and drive them. If you don't, they're taking you out. Yeah, for a while, then I got whacked.
That was an episode of Sopranos.
Two-time
this game just feels like Madison Square Garden, Georgetown, Duke, physical. You know who would fit right in? Villanova. They were in action today, taking